everybody. It's another segment of the Nature Dude. We're glad you could join us today. We were out traveling. It's early June, maybe the first full week of June, and a common visitor that comes around every year this time is what we were looking for. This is poison hemlock, and notice I'm wearing gloves to protect my hands because this is a very toxic plant, and it is native to Central Europe and around the Mediterranean and other places like that, but it is an invasive species in the United States, and it's found all over the United States. So poison hemlock's a member of the parsley family, and notice it has a whole cluster of small umbel-like flower clusters here. It has very lacy petals, very lacy leaves here. And this is very characteristic of members of the parsley. Think of carrots, wild carrot, for instance. And also, grows usually about 6 to 8 feet tall. Likes to be along roadside ditches, and you'll find it oftentimes in wetland areas. And it's very showy. So it's not hard to miss when you see it. Poison hemlock. So, what we also wanted to show you was where it gets its scientific name. If you notice on the stalk here itself, the stalk is hollow and it's very smooth or glabrous and almost a waxy coating on it, but it has a lot of red spots on it, and its scientific name is Conium maculatum. And conium, the Latin, means to twirl or swirl, and one of the side effects of ingesting poison hemlock is vertigo. And so that might indicate where that came from. And the other one is the maculatum, which is the red markings on the stalk here. And maculatum, it's believed that by the ancients that any plant that had red spotting on it was a plant that was growing under the cross of Christ. And so when his drops of blood fell off, it tainted or stained those plants. So very fascinating side story on that. Any part of this plant is poisonous. It's poisonous to animals. Birds, if they eat the seeds, it doesn't seem to affect birds, but if someone were to hunt and shoot, say, a mourning dove or something else that was eating the seeds, they could get very ill from it that way. This is the plant that Socrates had to drink the hemlock concoction, and ended up with total paralysis. And then finally his respiratory system just shut down and he died. And Plato writes about that account, and he kind of describes the death of Socrates. This was a what do I want to say? A medicine of choice for death warrants or for people to take their own lives back in the day. There's been stories about young boys smoking the hollow stalk and then dying from that. There's been some recent stories about someone mistaking it and mixing it up like into a stew or something, and then they would pass away from that. So you really want to stay away from poison hemlock. It's only out for a couple weeks and it's gone. And so we just wanted to kind of give you an update on this. John Barry, my friend, is the one who recommended we do a little video clip on this. And so this is poison hemlock, and we'll see you on the next episode of the Nature Dude.